Hello. Okay, we're gonna try this again. We have another powerhouse coming on today. Her name is Mackenzie. Is just a badass. She had built a business outside of Instagram, a wedding business, and has now transitioned into a business mentor, a industry disruptor, all of the things, right? So we're gonna try and get her on here. All right, Kenzie, why don't you try and ask to join? We'll see if that works this time. That was more promising.
We did
Oh my goodness.
it!
Yes.
I do not know why that was so hard this time. Sometimes it's hit and miss.
I know. No, I think we were both way too excited and we were both sending each other requests and they were like canceling each other out.
Very fair, very fair.
I think that's what was happening. But hello, we're here. We're doing it.
Sure.
Yay. Okay, amazing. All right, let's just dive into it. And why don't you give us a little bit of backstory, who you are? I was kind of telling them that you're just an all-around badass, and that's the best way to describe you. And then we can get into talking about business outside of Instagram and not looking beyond that, right?
Right.
Because I know you do a lot of work at that, but I'm going to stop talking. You give your spiel
Yes,
and let everybody know who you are.
absolutely. I'm Mackenzie Morris. I'm a business coach and strategist, and speaker, and all of the things in that kind of nature. However, I have been an entrepreneur for the past 15 years. I have had a lot of different companies. I have been very multi-passionate. I'm a visionary, so I see things. I can see it in like the 3D.
Yeah.
I remember the day I saw my wedding business. I was sitting on my couch and I saw this stone building with a hot pink sign with the word Mackley's on it. And I was like, this is it. This is what I'm meant to do. I blacked out for 2 weeks and I built the wedding company, and that's kind of how it started. But my journey has been crazy. When I say I've been in business for 15 years, it's not an exaggeration. When I was 12, people don't believe me, but when I was 12, I had a company called Banana Bites, and I would quite literally go and take bananas and chop them up and dehydrate them at home and make homemade peanut butter because I didn't want Jif to get the royalties, right? Because I'm thinking
Oh
royalties
my
at
God.
12. And I would do like bananas, peanut butter, granola, and honey and make like different little combinations, right? And package them up and sell them to my friends. And I did that for a while. Submitted this idea to a company called Davidson Industries, and they chose my idea and they wanted to bring me on to help with manufacturing and production. Well, I was young, right? I'm 12. I'm a child. So my parents were like, "You're joking. We're not doing that. You're joking." Well, fast forward literally 10 years and the product's on shelves and it's not mine. And my mom texted me, she's like, "I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you." But anyway, so I have always just had that kind of entrepreneurial spark, that vision, that like I am
Yes.
differentness, that
Yep.
people just couldn't ever
Yeah.
understand. Throughout high school, where I got the money, I don't know, but I bought into this MLM called Verve, and I sold that. I sold energy drinks to my friends and supplements and probiotics to their parents, because that makes sense. Went to college and sold Chloe and Isabel jewelry, and that's really where I got a crash course in like online marketing, digital marketing,
Yeah.
learning how to build community, hosting parties and events and stuff like that while I was doing school, right? So, MLMs get a lot of like bashing, but you can learn a
Yeah.
lot from
I
them,
mean, there's a
right?
lot of business foundations and like the soft skills and the people skills that
Right.
are very important that
Right.
you need to know. And yeah, that's a great way to learn them.
Yeah. So I did that for a while. And I kind of was like, okay, this is my thing. And then I went and I got an internship at a construction company. Completely out of the blue. It was a Fortune
Love
500
that.
company.
I love that.
It was really cool. I quite literally walked in with my resume. I was like, "I'd like to talk to a manager about getting a job." And they're like, "Oh, okay." He literally hired me on the spot. And he had told me years and years ago, he's like, "The reason I hired you is because you had balls. Like you walked in and you asked to speak to me and you asked for the job."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's just always who I've been. Throughout my time there, they had an internship competition that was international, and I won it. I won the thing. So that really put me on the map.
Yeah.
Hey, go do it yourself. Go do it yourself. I've got two toddlers here too. I'm a toddler mom of a 5 and 3-year-old, so they might be in and out. We're in the
Fine.
trenches with that.
It's the life. I have the same, well, my daughter's 2.5, so a little bit younger, but my son is 5. So
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, we're
Get
in it.
it.
But yeah, so I won
Totally.
that competition and it really put me on the map to where I ended up flying all around the country, doing different events, working with different branch managers and teams, and really being an extension of the HR director for the entire South region of the country. So it was really cool. That's where I learned how to be confident and be bold. And my biggest lesson in that was when I got transplanted in the middle of Odessa, Texas, in the oil fields. And I, at 21, was now the boss of the branch managers who are 55 and 60, who have been there for 20 years. And now, so I was blonde at the time. Some little blonde 21-year-old girl is now my boss. Like, they quite literally left me in the desert at one point. Like, it was not good. But I really learned how to hold my own,
Yep.
be the authority, be confident that I earned my position there. And I was absolutely as qualified as everybody
Yep.
else. And then all the while I was doing the construction company, I was building my wedding business, which ultimately I ended up scaling. So we were an all-inclusive wedding giftery. So we did bridesmaid proposal gifts, getting ready robes and PJs, and preservation services for dresses and bouquets, while also wholesaling our products to retailers. So I got my products in 47 retailers all around the world, got a registered trademark, sold on Amazon, did literally all the things with it. And then built it, right? And as people
Yeah.
were watching, they were hiring me to be like, wait, I want help behind my scenes. How are you doing all of this? So that's kind of where I got into like, okay, I actually have the strategic mind, right? You don't really know you have it until other people are like, wait, hold on, I don't have
Yeah.
that. I need help with
Yeah.
that,
I don't
right?
know how to do that. That doesn't just make sense in my head.
Right.
Same
So
way. Yep.
so that's how I got into kind of the coaching and the strategy and all that stuff. And after years, my wedding company looked really successful on the outside and it was making money and it looked glamorous as hell, right? But man, it was really hard money.
Yeah.
And I was hustling, I was grinding, I was becoming really resentful.
Mm-hmm.
And I would constantly refer to it. I'm like, this company is on life support. Like, it is on life support. And it was on life support for probably 3 years, right? Because you don't want to give up, you know? You're
Yeah.
like, this is it. This is the last thing. And then it's not, you know,
Mm-hmm.
until it finally was. And
Yeah.
once I've decided to take the full leap into coaching and mentorship, literally I doubled my total yearly revenue in the last 2 months of the year. So I was like, okay, that's what I needed. That is what I needed. And now I'm here and arrived to my current state, which is now a temporary destination because we're always moving. So
We're
yeah,
always moving. We're
that's
always moving. And I think that is, I mean, that's just who we are, right? That's
yeah,
just who we be. And I think there is like negative connotation with that. From outsiders of like, well, you're just hopping around.
right,
Well, you can never make up your mind. You can never do this. It's like, no, I'm just fucking evolving. Like,
right,
I'm just getting more clear. I'm getting more intentional on like what the fuck I'm here for.
right.
Also, I realize you have children, so I'm going to
No,
try
it's
and
okay. It's totally good. You're good, girl.
um but it's like no, that's just what you're conditioned to think. Like if we
Right,
don't stay in the same job in a cubicle for 40 years, then we are indecisive and just hop around. No,
right,
I'm just actually like learning more about myself, learning more about my genius, my passions, and I'm like doubling down on them, right?
right.
Like that is what it is. I love it. I love your story. I think it's so badass. And it just like goes in so many different directions,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it all makes
yeah,
sense. And it all feeds into like who you
yeah.
are right now. And like, that's the coolest part. That's what I work with a lot of my clients on is like, I think too, and this is kind of going off on a tangent, we
Okay.
discredit like our experiences that we've had
Right,
in the past, saying like,
right,
well, it's not an apples to apples comparison. It's like, it doesn't need to be.
right.
What did you learn there? What did you learn about yourself? What kind of soft skill did you learn? Like, did you grow a pair of balls in that job? Okay, that led you to here. You
Yeah.
can leverage that. You can use that, right? And I think too many times we discredit like the things we have done in the past because they're not relevant.
Right. And we don't talk about it. And we also like suppress a lot of it, right? Like I
Yes.
call my entire construction base, that whole massive chunk of my life, my past life. Like, that is my current life. That is a part of me, and that is a significant part of me because that created a personality trait almost, or a core value of mine, of like who I am as a
Yeah.
person, and it amplified it. And even going back further, thinking about when I was in high school, I had 3 jobs. I've always been so ambitious. Like, I like to be moving. I like to be moving my brain. I love to problem solve, which is why I'm like, I want to be busy and
Mm-hmm.
be busy in a
Yeah.
productive way. But in
Yeah.
addition to having the 3 jobs, I was also captain of a drill team with 90 girls. Like, I've always been that leader. I have always been in that, like, go, 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 we are in it to win it
Yeah.
thing. And all of those experiences really shape who I am now and my perspective of the world, right? Like, I am bold by conditioning, and that is what has happened. I have been
Yeah.
conditioned to be bold, and a lot of people are not bold. And I remember a few weeks ago, I was in like a breathwork session with my brand strategist, and she does like hypno breath work, and it's really super cool. She combines it
Mm-hmm.
with her brand strategy, and it's really cool. I'll tag her later. But it came up for me where I was like, wow, I'm trying to be this bold person, and I didn't recognize myself, because when I was attaching myself to the word bold, it was coming off like aggressive, and like, I
Yeah.
am not an aggressive person. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I am trying to fit into this bold
Yep.
little box
Yep.
when I myself am bold, and I don't need to be bold because I am
Exactly.
it, you know?
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that you said that because um, I've been talking a lot about like becoming an industry disruptor, right? Like disrupting your industry. And again, it's the misconception that that means you have to be like abrasive. You have to be loud. You have to swear every other word. You
Right.
have to like be in your face and be super glamorous and all these things. It's like, no, it's more of like an energy and
Yeah.
a being and like
Yeah.
who the fuck you are. Like, I always use the example of it's like, you know, that person when they like walk into a room, whether you're in at a wedding, at an event, whatever it may be, and like heads just turn and you're
Right.
like, do I know this person? Why are they familiar? Why am I like having this feeling towards
Right.
them? And it's literally their sense of being. And that is being bold. That is being an industry disruptor. It's not the loudness about it. I think the boldest people and the people who disrupt industries the most are actually the quietest. But like literally their presence speaks like volumes about them,
Right.
right?
I think maybe going off of that, it's because they don't have anything to prove,
Yes.
right? They're not trying to prove anything. It's their essence
Yep.
and their self conviction. And like, I know who I am. I don't have to prove it to anybody.
Mhm.
Like, I can exist here, and that's enough.
Mhm.
And that's what people don't believe. That it really comes down to the
Yeah.
enoughness
Well,
piece.
and I think that too is like what at the end of the day, that's what people like. I'm speaking of like business owners, right? Like, specifically. Well, no, all people actually. We're just gonna say all
All
people.
people.
They want that enoughness. They want that feeling, that security of being like, oh no, I just am who I am, and like I don't give a fuck if you don't like
Right.
me. You don't agree with this? Okay, I'm good. I'm
Right.
cool with that.
Right.
And that sense of security is what attracts people to you. What all of like the most successful people in our spaces in any industry have, even not even online. That is just like I worked at a Fortune 500 company before I came into the online space. And like when I think about like our CEOs and the like top people in that space, like our board of advisors, it's like I think about who they are
Right.
and the way that they showed up. And that was the feeling that they gave to
Mm-hmm.
people. It was literally that. And it was that sense of security that they gave to people. And that's really like at the end of the day, that's what people are buying.
Right. Well, and the other piece to that is if they're not buying into it, it's probably because you're mirroring something about them that they wish they were more of, right? It's your
Mm-hmm.
confidence, it's your security, it's your self
Yep.
assuredness, it's your detachment from all of it
Mm-hmm.
that they're like, oh man, I wish I want that. Like, I wish that for me, but they probably don't have the awareness at the moment to accept that that's
Yep.
what's happening,
Yeah.
or they do and they're just going to pretend like that's not what's happening and they're not going to deal
Exactly.
with it.
Exactly. There's like two different people in those scenarios. One's going to get triggered as fuck and be like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. You're not right. The other one's going to be like, I'm triggered as fuck, but like, let's fucking
Right.
go. Like, let's go.
Right.
And that, I mean, bringing it back to like what I titled this, like that is how you build a category one business.
Yeah. It can be lonely. It
It
can
can
be
be.
lonely being in category one because you're one, bitch. You are one.
Exactly. But like that's what's going to make you the most successful. I mean,
Right.
that really is. If you are building it like her, or you're trying to emulate her, you're trying to emulate whoever the fuck you're trying to emulate, it's not going to work. It's going to make them more money because people are going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, that reminds me of this person. I wonder what they're doing. I'm going to go over and check that out. Oh, they have a new offer. Okay, I'm going to go buy it.
Right.
Like, really is what it is. And when it comes to like business strategy, and I would love to hear your perspective on this too because of all of your experience, but I think there's conversation about like, well, there's like the secret strategy out there that the most successful people have. And it's like, no, they're actually probably using the same exact strategy that you keep trying and dipping your toe into, but like it's not working. So you like dip out.
Right.
And like all the top dogs are like probably using the same strategy.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many strategies in business.
Girl.
There's
Girl,
not that
preach
many.
it.
There just isn't. Like, there's not that many strategies. So like, okay, can we just like accept that? And so now you can understand that that's not the differentiator.
Right. Yeah, you're a million percent, 100% right. I don't even know what I have on this board, but okay. So yesterday I gave a whole entire funnel
I,
workshop. Like I was teaching.
I
That's
saw that.
one of
Yeah.
my favorite things to teach ever on the face of the planet. I
That
geek
is so
out
funny.
over funnels. And I was doing a whole thing. I taught it 4 times yesterday. I did it
Don't
for
look
in
at my
person.
page
Don't
to
what?
see funnels. I said, don't look at my page or any of my shit to see funnels because you'd be like, Jordan. I'll be like, I know it's on the list.
We can fix it later. It's okay. You're doing great. But back to the point is that there are only so much strategies. Like, yes, there can be someone out of the blue that can come up with something new, right? There's always a new idea, but the base is the same. And the only difference is who you are in your brand and what separates you from the other people, or your ability to scale and grow slowly, or and have your staying power and not quit
Mm-hmm.
and be like, wow, this is not working, whatever. Or your ability to be able to hold the power and the problems and the decisions and the stress that comes with a growing company. And most people are going to go into a natural like self-destruct, right? Like,
Yes.
oh my God, things are growing. This actually happened with one of my current private clients. She sent me a message a few weeks ago, full blown panic out of the blue. Mackenzie, I feel like I need to slow down. Like, we need to quit. I'm not going to coach with you. We're quitting. I need to slow down. I was like, girl, one, take a minute. I'll talk to you on Monday. Okay. So we're going to slow down.
Go take a breath.
But things, when you have growth and momentum, it can really scare
Yeah.
people because it feels like different because you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been having that, right?
Yeah.
And now you have more eyes, you have more messages, you have bigger problems. And now you actually have to start holding yourself to a higher
Yep.
standard and showing
Yeah.
up like you always dreamed
Yeah.
of, right? Now the universe all has jokes, right? The minute you say you want to quit, it will literally give you every single thing you want, which is exactly what happened with her. She got the approval for a retail space and she had multiple clients reaching out to her for one-on-one trainings. I'm like, girl, you said you wanted to quit. What are you going to do? She's like, okay, well, I was being a
I'll
little
give you support.
dramatic.
Yeah.
I was being dramatic. Let's do this now. I'm like, okay, now we're back.
Yeah.
But it scares a lot of people.
And I think it comes down to like the pressure of being able to keep it up.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh my God, I did this. Can I keep doing this? Can I keep recreating it? Can I keep doing this? And I always tell my clients, um, whenever and this has happened so many times with clients, with myself, like I've heard mentors talk about this. It's like you hit your highest, like cash month, you hit your highest, and literally you start the next month and you're like, fuck,
Right.
can I do that again?
Right.
That was just a fluke, right? I'm not going to be able to do that again. It's like, okay, first of all, we're going to switch that and we're not recreating it. You just set a new standard for yourself and you're just now going to hold that.
Right.
Like, it's not about recreating because that puts like a different pressure on you than, oh no, that's just what I do now.
Right.
right? Like that is a very different vibe. That's a very different energy. And that's a very different identity that you're not putting yourself on. Because when you're trying to recreate, you're going back into that proving, right? You're going back
Yeah.
to that proving of like, no, I can do this again. Instead, it's like, no, that's just what I do.
Yes. Oh, God, I love that. I love that perspective
Yeah.
so much. That was so good.
And I think it's just something that coming from corporate where I got the same fucking paycheck every 2 weeks. So like, it's fine. It is what it is. Did I literally double my salary in 6 months being online? Yeah, I did. But I still went into a fucking panic after I did that. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do
Right.
this again. Can I do it again? And I think it's just something that doesn't get talked about, that like, it's not about recreating. And that switch for me and for my clients of like, we're not recreating the past. You don't want to recreate the past because maybe
Right.
it was clunky to get there and now you're a different human. So like you're not recreating it.
Right.
And so when you make that switch, you show up differently. And when you show up differently, you're going to make more money.
Absolutely. And I shared a training in like one of my private spaces, and it was talking about this whole idea of whenever you have a personal brand, right, which most of us do here in this
Mm-hmm.
space. Everyone actually does. Everyone on the planet has a personal brand, by the
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
But
Whether you run a
people
business
don't.
or not, you
They
do.
have no clue. They have no clue. But it gets to the point where, for me, the goal now, and I think I'm finally here, but is one, to not judge yourself through an evolution, right? Not judge yourself and saying, I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be feeling these ways, or don't allow yourself to feel like a failure.
Mm-hmm.
One, I also don't believe in failures, but don't allow yourself to feel like whatever you didn't work just because you have to change, right? Allow yourself that flexibility, because you are the brand, and as humans, we are growing. That is what we're called to do. Sorry for getting too much. That's okay. Go put it on like another one. I always wanted more. Oh, okay. And this is my first. Yeah, jelly's great. Jelly's great. I always wanted more.
I've always
Always
wanted
wanted more.
more.
We always want more, babe. We always want more.
We do. Keep that attitude.
Right. But it's this idea of not judging yourself through the growth, because as you're growing and developing internally, of
Mm-hmm.
course your business is going to change. The structure is going to change.
Yeah.
What is aligned for you is going to change. But I think once we get to the point of, deep in your heart what your core values are,
Mm-hmm.
and like what is number one most important to you. So mine are like fun, freedom, family, collaboration,
Yes.
co-creation, and contribution,
Yes.
and community. That is it for me. So
Mm-hmm.
if my offers align with that, it doesn't matter how I deliver them. As long as they're here, I shouldn't feel rocky. I won't feel rocky
Exactly.
because it's totally in alignment, right? You
Yes.
can package your things a bunch of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's 10 doors and one has $1 million behind it, you just got to open each door, right? You don't have to put the pressure on to give yourself one chance to
Right.
open the right door.
Right. And oh my God, my thought just went out of my brain. Completely out of my brain. Oh, I remember. Okay. Hello. It's the idea of balance, right? Like balance doesn't fucking exist.
No.
It doesn't exist, you guys. It doesn't
No.
exist. And the people who seem the most balanced are literally, ready for this, just okay with not being
Right.
balanced.
You have to be. It's
It
the
just
reality.
is what it is. It's like, okay, I'm in a season where maybe I'm pushing harder. I'm in a season where maybe I can pull back. I'm in a season where like maybe they are kind of even. Okay. But that goes back to what you were saying of like at the core of it all, like your core is going to be stagnant. And that's why I speak so much about like, what is your truth? What do you want to be known for? What is the message you want to get across? Because again, you can evolve in the way that you're like spreading that, in the way that you are like putting that out into the world.
Yeah.
That can change. That can like differ. But again, like you said, that actual core stays the same.
Right.
And when you have that, it gives that feeling of being quote unquote balanced, right? And so when you understand that piece of it of like, oh no, this is still my core, this is still like my mission, I'm just now like giving it to the world in a different way. Like, oh, yeah, it's fine.
That's absolutely so true. And this might trigger some people, but
Yes,
I
trigger, please.
trigger warning. I see this whole thing that we're talking about right now come up a lot when people are talking about self-care. They love to use self-care as an excuse to get out of doing the work.
Oh, 100%.
And
It's
I
procrastinating.
can't, I don't have patience for it. Like, girl, I am all here for self care, but I'm also gonna stay up until 2 a.m. if I need to. I am gonna work into late hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work throughout the day and, say no to some opportunities because it's what I need to do,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of people will retreat like, oh, for self care, my mental health, whatever. Sure, if you have mental health problems and you need to actually do that, but you need to check
Yeah.
yourself because if you're just letting that be a crutch,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to say exactly where you are in the name of balance and in self care
Exactly.
because you're right, it doesn't exist. The people who are in the 1%, the people who have the things that other people don't have, it's because, like everyone says, they're willing to do the things that other people
Mm-hmm.
are not willing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're willing to do the hard shit.
Yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about so much in my message of like, this isn't easy. And it's not in the name of like being a Debbie Downer or a pessimist or anything like that, but it's just like, here's the fucking truth of the matter. This is what it takes. And like, my people
Yeah.
know that. And so they appreciate somebody finally being like, this isn't sunshine and rainbows. I'm not sitting on a yacht. Because there's like, when that is like the main message that's being brought across, to me, it pisses me off because it downplays the amount of work that I'm doing. It's
Right.
like, uh,
Right.
like I'm working my ass off. All my clients are working their asses off. Are they thriving? Yeah, they are. But because of what they're doing, not because they're like sitting back and like feminine flow. It's like, do you even know what the fuck feminine
I
flow
love
even
it.
means? Or are you just literally using that as an excuse to like go post up by the pool?
Yes.
Because like that's not what it is.
Yeah. It's
Like,
not.
just stop.
Well, and the thing, other piece of it is social media makes anything look like it's overnight. Like it really
Oh
does.
my
And
god,
it
I know.
takes, bare minimum, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. So for me, I'm 15 years in. I've made money, I've made success, but
Mm-hmm.
I've also restarted a lot because I
Yeah.
have different passions, right? But my core brand and me, people following me along for the journey, right? So the way that I show up online has been totally different. But if you scroll down, you'll see my wedding post. You will see that whole building of that brand.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I'm leaning more into my fun side of who I am and trying to figure out how to bottle that up in a way where it's like, okay, I want to bring in some fun ass people in my space who maybe just aren't all into the business or, maybe they are, but I want some fun people. Like I'm here for the fun and the freedom and the whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not that serious. It's really not.
No.
And I think a lot of people put a lot of stress on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I will be the first to admit that I do that. And then there's times where I've checked myself and be like, no, you're doing this so that you have fun. You're doing this so that like you can enjoy life. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. We're good. Okay, let's go. Right? This is a juicy conversation.
Well, and it really is. It really is. The other thing that just came up for me in that moment is I'm going to write out or tell you about the rest of my week. Okay. So yesterday I spent 10 to 1:30 at an event teaching about funnels and just like networking.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight I'm going to the Oklahoma Thunder first NBA finals game. We are
No,
going to win
no,
this
we
championship.
have we have a little bit of a rivalry here because you beat out the Wolves. So
Girl,
I
fuck the
mean, you
Timberwolves.
did
Fuck the
take it,
Timberwolves, girl.
but
Either way, it's
either way,
incredible
yeah.
to be a part of history. Like this is actual history for Oklahoma City, and it's just wild being there. This is our third season to have tickets. But anyway, so tonight I'm going to that,
That's gonna be
and
so much
then
fun.
tomorrow we are going to a really nice like boutique restaurant with two of our really great friends, and then Saturday I have a VIP networking pool party. And then after that, I have a party I have nowhere else to wear it to party. So you show up in something that you have nowhere else to wear it to. And then after that party, this is all Saturday, we're going to an engagement party. So we're going to be out probably until 3 or 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. And this is our constant. Like, we have so much freaking fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't used to be like
Yeah.
this. Like it really didn't. And it came down to a conscious effort to figure out what we value, what we enjoy, and to make the decision
That
to
happen.
choose that every time.
Yeah.
So an example would be if you're looking through concerts, you're like, oh my God, Bruno Mars. I don't listen to him, but Bruno Mars is coming to Oklahoma City. That would be so fun. Exit out. Buy the fucking ticket.
Go do it. Yep.
Just buy it. Don't
Mhm.
think about it. Buy the
Yep.
ticket. And that's really how we've been approaching everything. We have 7 season tickets for next season.
I love
Why? I don't know. So we can bring people, right, and do that whole thing.
it. Hmm.
But it's detaching from like, oh, we can't do this. We're busy. Oh my God, we're gonna be so exhausted. I have work in the morning. I have to be up at 8 a.m. I gotta go to bed at 8 p.m. Girl, why? Who said? Literally, who said?
Hmm.
And are you making those excuses and allowing yourself to not
To
or
stay in the
pardon?
misery.
In
Yeah. Or
what? Yes.
to stay in the state where like it's
Right.
not maybe it's misery, maybe it's whatever it is, but just you have to, if you want something to change, you have to make a conscious effort to actually fucking change it.
Right.
Is what it comes down to. And that's exactly like what you are doing, and that's what you're embodying, and that's what you teach, and like that is why you are as successful as you are.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
it's so fun.
I
And I mean,
love the I have nothing else to wear this to party.
she sent me that invitation. And I was like, yes, they
That's
are two
amazing.
of the most creative people I have ever met in my life. They are incredible. One of the girls, she's one of the top makeup artists here in Oklahoma City. She also runs an influencer account for OKC Things to Do on TikTok with
Okay.
like 50,000 followers. She's crushing it. And, you know, her girlfriend's incredible. They're just fun ass people. And over the years, we've gotten closer and we've done some fun things. Like we'll go travel to Tulsa, just going to a concert there and
Hmm.
back, or we'll go and just do a night trip or do whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of down for everything. And it's
Yeah.
cool if you have people like that in your space
Hmm.
because it allows you to be more fun and free and just really kind of step into that and allow yourself to enjoy and reap the
Yeah.
benefits of everything that you've built.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're not doing that, then what is it for?
Right.
Hmm.
Right. And if you're not hustling and if it's not hard, it's not, you're not doing it right. Right. And
Exactly.
that's where people's red flag comes up. They're like, wait, this is too easy. What's going to happen?
Hmm.
Well, something probably, but
Yeah.
go enjoy it while you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. Or on the like on the other end of it, this is too hard. That means it's not right. No, it just means it's hard right now. It's
Right.
something new. It's something different. You haven't done it before. Of course it's fucking hard. But like
Right. Well, and the
you can
other,
do it.
right.
Look at what you've done in the past. Like look at what you've gone through in the past. Like don't discredit yourself just because it's hard.
Right. Well, and the other thing is like if you've done it and you're successful, that does not mean that it's not going to be hard again. Like once you've made it, there's no such thing as
There's no
making it.
plateau where it just like, oh, I've made it. I'm good. It's like it's this, and then you're going up again.
Right. So I was in a group program with Danielle Canty and Amy Sangster. I don't know if you know either of them,
You
but
know
they
the
ran
person.
Boss Babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they ran Boss Babe. So I did a program with them and worked with them to learn how to build memberships. So I was like, if I'm gonna have a membership, I want to work with the best of the fucking world
Yep.
because that's who I am and that's what I do. I invest big because I want big results. That's it.
Yeah.
So no fucking brainer. But she was got on and someone was talking about imposter syndrome and she was like, you know what, I've got to tell you guys, now that I'm building a software company and I don't know anything that I'm doing, but I'm in these rooms with these investors, these people who have done it before, that comes up for me. And I have sold gajillions of dollars throughout out life, right? It
Mm-hmm.
never goes away. There's never a point where you're healed, right? I always like to joke like I'm healed, I'm exhausted from emotional growth, I'm healed. But no, bitch, we're never healed and it's never over and you're always working and becoming a better version and expanding that identity.
Yeah. 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 It's so true. And that's to me, that's the fun part of it all. Like that's the fun part is that like we do get to keep evolving. We do get to keep like, oh, here's something new we can do. Here's something else I can do. Like how fun is that? That we literally can create all these opportunities for ourselves.
It's a game. This
It's
is all a
it's
game.
all a
And
game. Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
think about it in any other way, it'll be really hard.
Yeah.
But if you realize you're just playing a game and you're literally playing with Monopoly money, granted, sure, it's money and blah, 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 whatever,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
you print it to printer. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it at all. We're playing a game and you're betting on yourself. And so fucking what if whatever you did doesn't work? Try again. Literally just try again. It's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
I guarantee you, you are the only person who's going to remember that failure.
Right.
You're the only person.
When Alex Hermosi had said that you will spend at least $100,000 to make your first, you will lose is important. You'll lose $100,000 to make your first million, right? Or
Mhm.
something along
Yeah.
those lines. You've got to lose it, but you also have to be willing to lose it. Because if you're not even willing to lose it, you're not going to try.
Right.
And that's what stops people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it too, I mean, even like outside of the money factor, you have to be willing to lose progress, lose, um, or let go of things that you thought it would look like this. You thought that it would take less time. Like let lose some of like the expectations and like the vision that you had for it in order to get to like where you actually want to go.
Right.
And because yeah, like the investment, the money, all of that is absolutely a thing. But I think it's even like bigger than that too, of like, even outside of that, there's things that like you're gonna have to like say bye-bye to in your life, or like expectations or visions. And it's all like you have to be willing to do that to get to where you actually want to go.
Right. And that's uncomfortable. That
Oh,
is
it's so
so
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. And that right there is the piece that makes this all very freaking hard. And
Yeah,
that right there is why this is not for everybody.
exactly.
Why not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Because
Mhm.
if everyone could be, everyone would be, and we would all be rich, and all the world's problems would literally be solved.
Yeah. It was
Right.
actually, I can't think of her name right now. Layla, Hermosi's wife.
Yes, love it. Love her.
She had posted something about how the most successful people in the world are literally just willing to sit in the discomfort.
Yeah.
Like it's really fucking hard, but they're willing to go through that, and they're willing to sit in the discomfort where most people are like, well, it's uncomfy. I don't want to touch it. Get away from it. Right. But everybody still wants that end goal. It's like, well, then fucking do it. Pull on your big boy pants, grow a pair of balls, and do it.
Yeah. It's the ability to sit in that, and instead of being the person that crumbles and quits, is to sit in it, feel the feeling, acknowledge it, okay, and then learn from that feeling, like what is coming up for me and why.
Yep.
Saying, okay, I acknowledge it. I'm going to remind myself what is true about myself. I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
And that is the thing, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend, because I've shared all of my ups and all of my downs. I have shared the failures, the business closures, all publicly. There are videos of me crying online, letting people know about all of the things, because it's important to me to be vulnerable and to showcase the heart of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I haven't sat in the shower, water coming down, cinematic moment, bawling, saying, when is it my turn?
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone has been there,
Yeah.
right? And some lows are lower than others, but it's your ability to like pick yourself back up and move through it.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
So good.
So good. Okay. Well, thank you for hopping on. Obviously, people can find you on, I'll have you tagged on here. Any upcoming offers, anything you want to shout out right now, here's your moment. Go.
Yeah, so you can find all me here on Instagram and on my website, mackenziemorris.co. I am taking interviews. So if people want to do interviews and stuff like that, I'm taking it, and we're going to be building a podcast channel. Everything right now is going on to YouTube, and I'm going to take that and put it onto podcast. So I'm doing a spotlight series. So would love anyone that wants to do interviews. If you're looking for people to be on podcasts, I would love that, or any speaking engagements. I am open and taking bookings for those as well. Or if you want to work one-on-one or be in a mini mind, I've got offers for that. And I also have a pink house rented in August for anyone that wants to come party and go on a vacation. We can do that too. So that's basically it.
Epic. Looks absolutely epic.
It is very cool. I can't believe I found a house with a stage in it.
Right? When I saw it, I'm like, oh, yep, that vibes, that matches. Yep.
It's gonna be so fun. I mean, and they said it's for karaoke, but I'm like, I want to give everyone actually a platform to speak. So we're gonna have a professional videographer and photographer come and really highlight people and their message or their vision, or educate, or just fucking get up there and dance. I will bring my little my little rave hat, right? My homegirl. I love this thing. I actually bought this when I went on my first solo trip to Las Vegas. I went to a licensing expo, and it was where Barbie did their entire marketing deal.
Okay.
So I have like a picture with the Barbie car, and I was hanging out with Sam Edelman, talking to the CEO of Tommy Bahama, learning about their behind the scenes. Like it was a really cool thing. So I'm
That's
excited
so
to kind
cool.
of bring those experiences to our space.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank all of you for watching. And we'll chat soon.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
guys.